We're a little early tonight. I mean, I've been on the bench for a couple hours here. Lady D is still at work. We already ate our tacos. We are now enjoying after dinner dessert. Pro tip: don't dunk your cookies in paint water. It's nasty. So we're painting Imperial Guard. I got 40 of these little buggers. I want them done today. I'm also working on assembling a Gatling cannon for another project that I have lying around. And I can tell you this Gatling cannon is the bane of my existence. The absolute bane of my freaking existence. It's super fiddly. And tolerances are not perfect. So trying to get this thing in. It's proving to be a little difficult. So we're going to start off with a big shout out to Midwinter Minis, even though he probably doesn't even know I'm alive. Senpai noticed me. He is running a thing to get people to attack their backlog. And y'all know me, I'm always up for a challenge. Well, that sucks. Those two guys are good together. So I may just have to trim them a little bit. My apologies, viewers. The nature of 3D printing is that it is still a lot of kit bashing. Some pieces just don't want to do what they're supposed to do. All right, well, I think we're just going to end up gluing you in place. Mr. Vatha, hello, sir. Commodore, Mr. Meeks. Hello, guys. And it's funny, because I was just talking to all of you in Discord earlier. Like I might know some of you. In a second here. Reduced to cheating way. Here's my zip kicker. I just had it. There it is. And one Gatling barrel. Done. All right. Ain't perfect, but it'll work. Well, like Moss to Flaney, come for inspiration. Paint, my friends, paint. Quick, show you flip down here. This is literally my bench right now. So we've got 40 Imperial Guard and a bunch of work terrain. I don't know. So I didn't do it on a painted piece. I don't think it is. I think it's safe. I've seen people use it on painted figures. Honestly, I think it's just rubbing alcohol and like a little bit of baking soda. Literally diluted into it. So if your paints, once they're dry, if they're alcohol soluble, that might be a problem. But other than that, shouldn't be an issue. And we gotta sand this bad boy. Oh, so yeah, I mean, there's not much going on in the world of Warhammer. I mean, that's a lie. That is a big lie. But I gotta play it up for Heinrich. Can you prime over? Oh yeah, once it's dry, yeah, it's just an alcohol. You can prime right over it. Yeah, I mean, I can tell it's alcohol. I just don't know what the other thing in it is. I think it's just mentholated ethyl spirits, and then pretty cool Gatling cannon, huh, guys? Let me show you this here. A couple drops here. Put this bad boy in place. Yeah. And there we have a Gatling cannon. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Yeah, I was going to say, I was lying. I wanted to see if Heinrich was going to catch that. Yeah, 23rd. Big news. Lots of big news. The king. King's back. And I don't think it's just the king. If you buy into the rumor mill, we're going to also see at least one Primarch. Hello, darling. We're going to see the king, which is cool. I don't know if honestly, I don't know if there's going to be a figure for the king himself, but I mean, there definitely could be. I mean, he's obviously got to be like a Lord of War type figure, and that would go in line with what we're hearing about, you know. You gotta, I mean, for what the rumor mill is all saying, I mean, that this is going to be basically announcement of 8.5 or 9 or the new edition or whatever they're going to call it. So I'm looking forward to that. I know Plague Child is looking forward to it because the rumor mill, according to Valorak, who has been dead on with everything he's got info on so far, is that there is going to be a new starter box coming out, and this is probably where they're going to announce this freaking thing. But there's a new starter box coming out, And the new starter box is going to be Marines versus Necrons. So we're finally seeing the Plague War story finally come to an end, and the Death Guard will be regulated to back shelf status again. And we're going to see the Necrons, which I don't think is a bad thing. I think giving any Xeno faction, some real face front time is a good thing. I mean, if you think about it, last edition or 8th edition is Ultramarines versus Death Guard. 7th edition was Dark Angels versus just generic Chaos. Although ostensibly, I guess those were Black Company. I don't know what the 6th edition starter was. I don't even know if there was a starter for 6th edition. I know 5th was Black Reach, which was Black Templars versus Orcs. And 4th edition, if I remember right, was Marines versus Drukhari. I don't know what 3rd edition was. I don't even know if 3rd edition had a starter box thing. It might have been the same starter box as 2nd. 2nd edition was, of course, the classic Marines versus Orcs with those itty bitty tiny Marines. They're so small. They're so cute. They're just tiny. And now you got Primaris, which are like, hi, I'm 15 feet tall and gigantic, and you love me and buy me more. And, you know, I know people complain because that's what people do. But I'm going to be honest with you. You know, as a Space Wolf player, yeah, it was Marines versus Orcs, whatever. It was, I mean, I thought it was Black Templars. Although that was Black Templars versus Drukhari for 4th. That's right. I know the Black Templars were a box boy at one point. Hey, Henrik, I can split a box with you. Actually, what you need to do, Heinrich, is you need to get a friend and get them addicted so that they'll play Marines, and then you'll have somebody to play with. Just somebody you can show off, you know, face to face, all these lovely Necrons you've been working on lately, man. I've been loving your feed, loving the stuff you throw in the channel and whatnot. I mean, you do such groovy work, man. Seriously, just beautiful, beautiful work. I love your Necrons, man. I mean, I know Plague Child goes gaga over them, like looking at them all the time. So it's good stuff. So I'm just trying to clean up a little bit of flash in here. And then we get back to painting. So yeah, but in the 23rd, they're saying big release, big release, big release, big release. I'm getting the impression this was the big release that they were actually holding off for. I mean, Heinrich, honestly, actually, and that's the thing. I want to tell you. I mean, there was a point today. Somebody was showing off. Somebody put a picture in the channel about somebody who's got like 8 full companies worth of Space Wolves. You know, like, oh, that's something to achieve. That's something to strive for. I disagree. And I mean, if that's your bag, that's cool. But you'll notice I'm working on Imperial Guard. You guys haven't really heard me talk about Imperial Guard about 5 months, ever since I did my tanks back in January. I've got I probably got 1,500 points worth of Imperial Guard. I want more. I want a lot more. I actually have some very specific wants for that army. That'd be really great. I'm not going to be here until Sunday. I'm gone all day Saturday, and I'll be gone Friday night. So I got to let Mythos know I will not make a stream, which makes me sad. Mr. Hawkins, how are you, sir? All right. Let's see this bad boy on here. Oh, my goodness. Now look at that. That is pretty. That is so pretty. That is some violence waiting to happen. Oh my goodness. Dig that. To get that assembled. I got to clean it up some, so I won't be able to assemble it yet. But that is looking awful pretty. We're getting there. And I was showing these off in the channel earlier. These are my Badlands bases. They're basically, they start off gray, and then they get washed with a combination of Army Painter Dark Tone and Green Stuff World Moss Green, and then dry brushed in a 1-to-1 mixture of Vallejo Yellow Ochre and Vallejo Flat Earth. And it gets me this really, really, I love the color on this. It's a very subtle color difference, but I really wanted to go for this Badlands look. So there we go. There's a good look at it. I was going for this real Badlands look. And my big bases have a burn on them of stones, because the idea is this is going to be my heavy weapons team. So they're going to have, you know, sandbags to one side and the color there, and then the main weapon team will be behind the burn of stones. Now I have to take a break from. I needed to take a break from the Orcs for a couple days. I built a crap ton of Orcs, as everybody has seen on my Instagram, but I had to take a break from them. And that goes back to what I was saying before, is that you know, 10,000 points or 20,000 points of, or even more, of one army is hella impressive, and I'm not going to knock you for it. And if that's your bag, that's your bag. I'm the guy that wants 4,000, 5,000 points in like 6 armies so that I can build and play whatever I want. I realized the other day, without even trying, I don't have these even built yet. I've got 2,800 points of Orcs built, and about half of them painted. I've got 1,500 to 2,000 points of Imperial Guard, and the only thing painted are the tanks and the Chimeras. I mean, I'm just finishing up the guys now, or at least making a dent in the guys now. I've got about this is 40 regular troopers. All the sergeants, all the special weapons, all the command guys, all those guys are still over in the box. You guys know I've got about 4,500 points worth of Death Guard. There is exactly 2 things I want left for them. I'm literally almost done completely with everything I could possibly want for that army. I want 1 more Plague Crawler for certain, so I can have a trio, so I can have proper 3, because 3 is the number of Nurgle, 3 and 7. And I want to have enough Marine. I want to have enough Plague Marines that I can put together 7 squads of 7. And I've got the parts. I just got to assemble the things. Again, the pile. That and that, and then a foul blight spawn. He's a dude with a super soaker of grossness. Like he is death on a stick. I have 1 of them. I want 2 more. I'd like another fetid boat drone, but it's not necessary. But I'd like one just to have 3. You know, anything after that's kind of gravy. I mean, it'd be nice to get another 6 fart carts just so I can have 3 groups of 3 of those. Just for giggles and grins, because I like them. I have their Primarch. A couple vehicles would be nice. Another Rhino, another Death Guard Rhino. I'd really like to do, but I'll probably be doing that soon. And then in my wolves, I've probably got 3,500 points of wolves, but there is so much wolf stuff I want. And again, there's so much wolf stuff I want. I figure if I can get 5,000, 6,000 points in a single army, I've got everything I want in it, and I can swap around to what I want. For my orcs, there's that I have already, like I said, close to 3,000 points, and there's still so much more I want. I want to have at least 1 full squad of Def Coptas. I want to have some WAS bombs and some DACA jets. I want some aircraft. I really want some flyers. Need more boys. You always need more boys. Always, always, always need more boys. I could honestly see me printing another, or not printing, painting. Painting another 100 orc boys, just plain boys, just to fill out the army. Because boys is boys. And I think once I'm done with all of those, oh yeah, yes, that is one of the ones I really, 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 really want. I mean, for my wolves, I still don't have any wolfen. The funny thing is, I think if they had done Ragnar, and instead of having him having those freaking Primaris, if they had thrown a pack of wolfen in there and like a pack of something else, that'd have been that'd have been a definite buy then. Stormwolf, yeah, that's the one. I mean, the Fangs of Mordkai or Blades of Mordkai, the Wolf Battle Force box that's out there. Here's hoping after all this economic crap is over that thing's still out there, because I would definitely get myself one of them. I can always use more intercessors, even if I don't use it for my wolves. I want the Stormwolf that's in there, and I really want those freaking Wolfen. I need Wolfen, and it would give me it would also give me a Iron Priest, which is the other real figure I really want. Plus Bjorn. I mean, Bjorn's the best guy in the game, so he's the best figure that GW produces. Period. You can't even argue that point with me. You lose. I have a Kender and a Lady Dragon in the house. It looks like hello, Lady Kender. So it looks like they're home from work. So we might actually have Lady Dragon show up with us today, which would be nice. She's on her way. She's on her way. Eat your food first. There are. Yes, you do. She has to show off hers. She finally got her Prime for Licking shirt. This is the ladies' large. It's nice and form-fitting. It's cute.
It does come. This is actually a U.S. medium, so do order a size larger. But it is very, very comfy. And no, I'm not giving this up anytime soon. So I'm gonna go get food and alcohol.
Yep. So yeah, that's it. I mean, that's what's going on. So I mean, Puppets War makes werewolf heads. There's a couple ways to get some really. I'm gonna be honest with you. Again, yes, I have a 3D printer. Yes, I can print just about anything I want out of that thing. I gotta honestly say, Plague Child, can you deal with the dog, please? I'm gonna be honest with you. I actually really like GW's probably got himself stuck downstairs. I actually really like GW's sculpt. I'm actually a huge fan of GW's sculpt of the Wolfen. I think it's a beautiful sculpt. I think it's an absolutely beautiful sculpt. So I love the heads. I love the bodies. I love the poses. I love the dynamic look of the figure. I think the Wolfen are a beautiful, beautiful figure. And again, having a 3D printer doesn't mean I'm not going to be buying figures. I'll be buying figures still in the future. It just lets me build bits to make things easier. Like, for example, no, we did not. For Imperial Guard, when you buy a heavy weapons kit, you get one tripod. 5 weapons, 1 tripod. I found an STL for a tripod, so I can print out 15 tripods. And instead of magnetizing this little tiny freaking thing, which is a pain in the ass, weak, I just put a guy on it. And there you go. You're done. Yeah. So, yeah. 3D printing is cool, but it's not going to replace buying models for me. It just gives me more things to paint, more things to work on. And it makes me think of my hobby money in different ways. So, that being said, like I said, other than the big reveal coming on this Saturday, which will be 8 a.m. my time, it's 2 p.m. London time, which I'm guessing is probably like 4 in the afternoon or so for Heinrich. I gotta say that, you know, there's not a lot going on. This is a time to get building. This is a time to get painting. Kind of challenge all of you guys too. I know I've been throwing it up in channel, and those of you that go into my Discord, I talk about it a lot, actually, that, you know, if you've got the time and you've got the you got nothing going on at the time, go build a figure. Go build a squad. Prime some stuff and get it ready to start painting. Prep some bases. You know,
Somebody fell over.
Spend your time. We may not have all this hobby time to ourselves forever. So,
did you tell them the
something fell and got crushed?
Oh no! Oh, it's looking a lot more orky now.
Well, then it's not like so unsalvageable.
how did it get crushed?
It was underneath the chair.
What chair? This one?
No, that one over there. I think it probably got knocked off and then rammed into you. Maybe so.
Yeah.
Hi everybody.
Yeah, I'll have to throw something on it and reprime it. It's not that big a deal. It's really not. That is the joy of building stuff out of junk. That I can just throw another layer of junk on it and fix it. Yeah, I can just throw some more pieces in the back. That'll be fine. Thank you for finding it. To paint some non-GW stuff. I saw that you were painting like some knights or stuff.
Mom, Kaiser. Hi. They have another taco.
As long as they both got their tacos, yes. Squid Boss, what's up, my man?
Please forgive me. I just got off of work.
Yep. And it is Taco Tuesday.
Unfortunately, it's a boring taco because somebody never bothers to cut anything else up, so it's just meat and cheese. But they're delicious.
I make good taco.
Yes, you do. It's delicious. Can I have some ketchup?
Sure, go ahead. I don't have any here.
That's just not right.
DACA.
So, who's all in here anyway?
Well, we got 9 people. We got
I can see my brother, Hellchild, is in here. Mike. Hi, Mike. Heinrich. Commodore. Mini Warmut.
oh my goodness. You came in just in time for Warmut to show up. All right, time to go. What's up, my man?
That's how old the matter with you.
Nothing. Everything.
How much have you had to drink so far?
Nothing. Not
That's his
really.
first cup.
Yeah, it's my first cup, but I barely sipped it. Thought that
And actually, he didn't put much in there. I
I
know
didn't.
they put it in there. It was mostly filled with sweet and sour mix.
the whiskey's on.
Tastes stronger than mine. Mine's pretty freaking strong. Cheers. By the way, this is a 20 ounce mug
So,
that I may or may not have put too much whiskey.
did you
Too
whis-
sour.
Did you do whiskey? I don't know if you do whiskey around the room. So, let's see here.
Good. How can we die?
Imperial Guard.
Oh, guys, I was about to ask him where he got Imperial Guards from. Do you want to show?
Sure. As long as she's here, she can show now what's on her bench. This is a piece she's working on.
Still working on it. Still slowly working on her.
So, yeah.
There's that one. And then there is the other one I'm currently working on.
So,
It's true. No,
no, actually,
Orc
it's
pinup.
yeah, it's an orc pinup figure from Artisans Guild.
Mm-hmm. I saw the pictures. They looked awesome.
Yeah. The orc with the axe it's an orc pinup. It's orc Yagara Beauty, or something like that, from Artisans Guild. A really great set of 3D printable miniatures. I upscaled it to, I think, 150 or 200%.
That was a 150.
But I upscaled it. She's doing it as a gift for a friend. And the other one is perfectly scaled.
And it's a collaboration between the two of us.
Which is going to be a gift for another friend.
Mm-hmm.
And I've talked to our third friend and had a conversation about the kind of stuff he likes.
Oh, good.
So,
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. I we found a bunch of like pinup style, like, and we've got a pinup Oni. She's really cool looking, man. I want to paint her. We found a
that's this month's kit set from Artisans Guild.
and we bought the orcs because the orc set for the 5 plus her was really cheap.
6 actually, 6 of them plus her.
Okay, so
And that was the thing. Somebody had been showing off those orcs in channel in again our Discord, and I'm like, I wonder where you get those from. When I found out, I went, you know what? I got to give them some money.
It will make the orcs listen.
Well, here's the thing. Again,
Which one?
The one with the stick. You'll notice that she's got a stick, and she's in blue. So this is going to be a counts as for a friend of ours. For we'll call her a weird girl. How about that? She's a shamaness. So, and we've been looking at a couple options for her because she's such a great figure, and they've got a female figure that they've got. Like I said, they got some really cool figures in that whole set. I printed a couple of them out that look really good. So it's kind of nice. It's kind of a cool situation. That's one of the things. Again, one of the things I like about the 3D printer is that it's not necessarily printing things I'm definitely going to use for Games Workshop games, but I mean using them for proxies, using them for my D&D game. Some of the stuff I got for my zombie apocalypse game, like I found a bunch of giant mushrooms. My zombie apocalypse game uses mushrooms.
Because the damn eggs weren't creepy enough.
Well, these are big mushrooms that are angry.
Again! Because the eggs that wanted to eat you weren't bad enough?
I thought carnivorous mushrooms would be good.
This is what I live with. I'm going back to my whiskey.
But also, like, so it was Mike that sent you the that Gaslands truck. Mike, I saw that truck, beautiful. I actually went and found some Gaslands stuff that I'm putting together someplace for when I'm done with the project I'm printing right now.
Ugh.
That's
When do I get my next sexy, by the way?
when you're done with the ones you have.
Oh, big sexy.
What about the big sexy back there that you haven't even started on? The first one I gave you.
Zane, we actually can't. We looked into it. It's actually YouTube itself that's doing it. We have no control over it.
Yeah, I got nothing but it.
We tried.
I really did.
We'll talk about it later, okay?
Yeah. Hit me up in the Discord. We'll talk about it. I was looking. I don't have anybody on any type of or block controls. I'll look again. I promise I'll look again. I mean, there's not even a way to access that sort of stuff, buddy. I wish there was. Yeah, I got.
We'll take a look at this after the stream, okay?
I promise.
I'll make sure he stays sober enough to be able to do that. I can't make any promises about me because I made my drink way stronger than his. Sorry, not sorry.
Sometimes a hammer is the best wrench for the job.
Pictures?
Can we see pictures?
Or whose stuff?
Of what? What would you like to see pictures of, my friend?
If you're asking about my orc girl on Instagram, those aren't going up until after she has been received by the person she is intended to.
Yeah.
However,
but that is a video we're actually working on to actually do a full reveal of her.
Oh, Lady D's pictures.
Oh, art.
I don't have any art. I don't have any new art right now.
Yeah, but you have stuff you haven't shown me.
Of what? I've shown all my stuff at this
Like
point,
all the
haven't
old wielders? You had a bunch of those old wielder sketches you never show.
I? Oh, wielders. The Tielnians.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I don't even know what those are.
They're one of your books.
Give me a minute. I gotta go look.
Can you check on her? Unfortunately, the dog decided to run in between her legs just as she got up. I hate my dog sometimes. He wants to be right here and give love. Sweetie, are you okay? She may or may not be back with pictures. Seeing if she jacked her back again. What a night. All right. So while she's hunting for pictures, wow, you know, it's been one of those. Yeah, everybody's okay. Basically, she got up, and as she turned the corner, the dog, who was decided to be laying right underneath her, got up and in between her. Why do you muddy your drinks? So I drank them slower. Are you okay, sweetie? Okay. Did you cut yourself or anything?
I'll be able to tell later once I have something taken off of my leg.
What's on her leg?
Her jeans.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, he's a numbskull. All right. So, you know, it's kind of a slow night. So I think what we'll do is, while we're kind of in a semi-commercial break, we're going to throw a quick shout out to all my lovely patrons who make this possible. So we're going to start off with, first off, my poor sad sack, Inquisitor Zane, who can't even get his regular account in here because we can't figure out if he's been shadow banned or something. I love you, Zane. And of course, my other battle brother level. Is he there? Is he still there? Is he coming over? Mini warm up. Thank you guys both so much, guys. I really appreciate it. Even if it's $1 a month, it's still freaking useful to me. It's really helpful, and it helps us buy stuff like this stuff, like resin, like paints and paintbrushes. We've got our two battle leader Patreons in Heinrich Botha and Joe Bookish. Heinrich Botha is an amazing artist and quite the inspiration and a lot of my encouragement for doing the stuff I do in 3D printing. Actually comes from some of the inspiration he's given me. So again, thank you to him. And Joe Bookish, I don't get to talk to him well enough. He's a great painter and a great hobbyist and a great conversationalist, and just don't get to see him enough anymore. That makes me sad because I like Joe. And then finally, I have my three warlord level patrons. I first off have Smash Captain James Meeks, the man. I've got my brother, Master Modeler, also known as Alex Drake, a man that has provided me years of education and decades of great brotherhood, even though he's much older than I am, and was honestly more of a dad to me than a brother a lot for a lot of my younger life. So, and then finally we have high up in the phalanx, banning Zane with everything he can,
So again.
The Commodore. Even though he has a filthy Imperial fist lover. So what other art do you have to show off? Unfortunately, she's been really out.
Wow, I've got a lot of like barely touched books.
See, here's the thing. She's been really consumed with this big one she's doing right now, and she's kind of hit a dry point on it. She's trying to do this.
Here's one of now.
Oh, okay. Well, let's show that off.
Not quite finished.
That's fine. It's a great picture. It's a nice. It shows her nice, clean drawing style. This is actually one of the ones that we want to try and get a full 360 shot drawn of her, and see if we can actually get her sculpted so we can 3D print her, as she's one of the main characters of the comic the web comic that she and I are writing together.
Hey, Izzy's back. Oh, that's Izzy.
Yeah.
My attempt at a comic. I can show you that.
Oh, yeah. This was her turn. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. That's what I love about it. She is a really great artist, and it was her years of paint canvases that got me trying to get her into.
I think they've seen these.
Yeah, I think you've shown those off, but I mean, those are some of your best work. They really are.
Go ahead.
I mean, I don't know if you guys have seen. She's been messing around with Art Nouveau.
I've been teaching myself how to do that.
So she's been doing this. This is actually her character in a.
That's the very first Art Nouveau picture also I have ever done.
Yeah, this was a character in a Exalted campaign I was running, and she was doing them for everybody in the party.
Here's another one.
This is the party's rogue, believe it or not.
Thank you, Nate's Miniatures. I very much appreciate that. I believe so. I think that's what she was. She was the sneaky.
Yeah.
I'm going to stab you in the back. Here was the first male I've ever done.
And this was their party leader.
He was a bit hard to do because he's a very simplistic person. I want to color them, Kaiser. I've actually got a couple of ideas. I want to do one on the computer, one I want to print on a heavy cardstock so I can actually paint it with watercolors. And I do actually have one on a canvas right now that I want to try painting. And I'm not showing them that one because, well, you can show them that one if you want. Bone of Sin and... the test. Hello, gang.
Hello. This is a test drawing. It's still very rough at this point, but of the test webcomic that we're trying to do before we do our long one. We have a short-term one. It's going to be...
That's the short-term one, actually.
Kind of an anime style, but this drawing, she kind of went all out, and we're still trying to parse down the style to be a little bit more simplistic.
This one's actually based on World of Warcraft, which was a pain in the butt. Because trying to duplicate the armor and then add the unique touches to the armor, like I don't remember what kind of the plate armor that the warrior in the front is wearing, and the weaponry, but he had it set up so that according to his lore, the character had runes carved into them for protection.
So, luckily, he's been a great inspiration in having her do
my wolves.
Yeah.
I want to do one of Rihanna.
Yeah.
Do a bust of Rihanna. That would be great. I need to finish doing this one, but this one is our dear Dee's warlock, whose name, by the way, is Dielthagar. This gives you a little bit of an idea of what kind of a man it is. Thank you very much. We've actually got the first 4 pages of the comic blocked. I just need to finalize what.
Oh gosh, I forgot. Like. You got a bunch of my
imps dabbing.
My imps dabbing down below. I forgot you had them all doing that. My warlock in World of Warcraft was Demonology, 100% demonology. So he was, during his heyday, he would run around. He'd have a half dozen imps running around his feet. Plus, he had his big blueberry,
Not that picture.
and then he had the other female demon, the big 6-armed female demon running around with him too, because he had the ability to help multiple demons out.
So that is it for my drawings. Other than my commissions, I've been working very hard on getting my commissions done, which I'm almost done with Hellchild's one that he had. I just have to finish inking, and then it needs to be scanned in for cleaning, and then we start coloring it in, which the Plague Child has actually requested to be able to do, so that will be happening.
Yeah.
And then I have one from the Commodore, which will be his knights that he has requested. I've started the groundwork for what the frame of it, because everything I do, I draw it by hand, and then I scan it in and I clean it up. Depending on how the colors want to be, depends on how I handle it. I don't normally color by hand because, frankly, I'm an awful colorer by hand. I want to learn, but I've been teaching myself and refining my painting style for the minis, which we seem to have found a style that works really well for me. But I don't know.
Just get in front of me.
Because the way that I did those 2 orcs, we were role players on WoW.
And I'll be honest, I was a raider.
Timpy! Hi, Rob!
Hello, Rob.
I will let you know as soon as I need those pictures, Commodore. It is actually coming up soon. As soon as I have the base drawing for Hellchild's thing done, then it'll be your turn.
So, why don't you, since we got a number of people that were here that weren't here before, why don't you give me...
Her.
We're going to start with her. Again, this is an all-new thing for her painting.
Yes, she is a showpiece that I'm actually making for a friend. Oh, glasses on. Dee's going to tell us how it is now.
You betcha. That's me.
So, there was a style that I had seen used, and the miniatures paintbrush, not the miniatures paintbrush, Miniac. Sorry, Miniac had made these comments because he had seen somebody do this, where they painted the whole thing in black and white first. And I learned a lot about undershading and undertoning that way, which I think is freaking awesome. Well, and then after that, the person who did this was doing a Magnus the Red, and it took him over a year, and it was absolutely beautiful the way that this guy did it. Lots of non-oil went into the project, so I started doing that with her, and then I used nothing but inks and washes for her skin so that I didn't lose any of the undertoning.
Yes, it's an orc.
Yes, it is an orc. We bought an STL pack from the Artisans Guild, and every month they do a pack. They have one pinup version. So we have her, because we bought her because they were just gorgeous. And then we also have an Oni who's just, oh, I can't wait to paint her.
Now, here's the thing. We printed this, we printed the showpiece figure at 150%. So it's actually a bigger, like a display type figurine.
This is what she would have been at 100%.
The same set, they also give you usable figurines, which she's working on right now.
This is another present. You might almost say she's a little freakalicious.
Yeah.
That I am working on using the same style, except for she's a lot smaller. Yes, there's a pin-up Oni, and I can't wait to paint her.
It's really hard to describe. She's
an Oni standing to the side with a knee up, but she's got an arm out with the white fan with the red circle on it.
Yeah.
It's really sweet looking.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I cannot wait. And then there's this other Oni chick. There's another Oni chick where she's standing there and she's this big and she's just beautiful and powerful and she has this giant naginata. I want that at 200%, baby. And then I have this one for somebody.
That's not yours. That's belongs to somebody else.
It belongs to somebody, but apparently it's supposed to be painted eventually.
Well, no, he wanted to paint it. This is it when it's done.
I have to clean it up a little bit unless you.
No, he's gonna be cleaning up. It's his figure. But somebody really wanted a Leonidas, so
we got him a Leonidas.
We got a Leonidas.
And then the other thing I got, this was my
I'll need some
mother's,
cleanup on the back, though. It's got a bunch of nubs.
my Mother's Day present. Her she's got a shield and a sword that are currently detached so that I can paint her and make sure I get everything correct. Oh, excuse me. I have a lot of whiskey about to start swimming in my blood system.
See, here's the thing. Getting the 3D printer, what I honestly see the big thing it's done is it's giving her the tools to take her painting to another level. She can take, because she's at heart an artist. I mean, that's what got her into the minis is the painting. So, and the looks and getting the painted. So she can paint these and learn techniques and get better at painting and painting. And meanwhile,
I want to do it
sooner
than later.
Well, you got to still shade that stuff yet. You still haven't done all the shading yet. And for me, it's getting me bits. I have a box.
Kaiser. He is.
The only time the printer has not been running since we got it
Was when we ran out of resin.
when we ran out of resin. So the first thing I did was after the next time I ordered resin, like 2 days later, I ordered 2 more bottles. So I ordered a bottle to replace that one, and then I ordered 2 more bottles. So
basically every check he's getting a bottle of resin so we can just keep going. And as he's learning more and more, like this really badass he gets to finish this. This is part of a collab project that we're on.
Yeah, I designed and put this together using a bunch of pieces and dropping them together as a base for that orc for the friend. So I built it. I didn't know if I was going to paint it or you were going to paint it.
I wanted you to do it.
Okay.
Because bases are your thing.
And that's all the thing. You know, it's like we've been downloading and stuff. I've got a bunch of busts and even some you didn't see because I found them last night.
Ooh. This is messy, right? I think I've had too much whiskey already.
I've been, you know, that's the thing. I know what she likes. So and I'm going to be honest with you. Rob and I already spoke about this. This is why I was talking to you, Rob, because you know, here's the thing. As we've said before, this is all about the community. This entire game, this entire channel, this entire experiment. Did he have the Kriegsman bust? Yes, I do. Yes.
Should I get play with that one eventually?
I don't know if you'd want to. It's not your thing, I don't think.
But it would be a challenge.
To do with a gas mask on.
Still be a challenge.
Are you my mummy with a German helmet on?
Are you my mummy? I need whiskey. I'll be right
back. So yeah, I mean that's the thing. So again, it's all about the community. So my 3D printer, yeah, I mean a lot of the stuff has been, you know, bits. I've got a box of bits that I've been putting together for building terrain, and I've got a bunch of figures I've printed.
There's been a request for a bus, by the way.
By who?
I'll tell you about it.
Okay. So you know, and that's the whole thing. And 3 of the people that I give credit to that really, really helped get my channel off the ground. Well, there's 4 technically, but one of them's already getting a gift because he's the luckiest bastard on the planet.
Are we talking about IDICB?
We're getting IDICB Nick. You know, he's getting a present soon. I haven't actually reached out to him yet because I want to have. I want to know what we're doing for him first.
Well, you should probably reach out. And let him
I've been busy with this. That's the problem. He knows about it. Somebody's already talked to him about it. I've mentioned it to him, but I've been busy with the Midwinter Minis challenge. So, so that's been like consuming me. So there's that. But after Nick at IDIC Beer, why are you messing with this figure? It's something to do. I need to learn that.
Does he? Or can I just,
go ahead.
Actually, no, I think I need to get my colors and start working on the weird girl.
Yeah. So, but the other people.
Are you drinking the proper stuff? No, I'm drinking the cheap.
It's mixed. I only drink the proper stuff when I'm drinking it neat.
When it's on the rocks, man.
Even on the rocks.
If not,
even if it's on the rocks, no, I don't. I drink the cheap stuff because proper whiskey is neat. And but that's the good stuff.
This has sweet and sour.
This has sweet and sour mix in it. It's just, I mean, because like me, Me, if I'm drinking it neat, he wants out of the room. He can be out of the room now.
Are you going to apologize?
If I'm drinking it neat, I'm drinking Maker's Mark because that's my stuff.
Are you apologizing for the injuries that you caused?
But when I buy a $9.99 liter of cheap whiskey, you know, mix it with some, throw it on the rocks and mix it with some mixer, and it's good to go. And
I
that's
don't
what.
have any rocks in mine. We didn't have rocks. We have ice cubes. Okay.
So,
I hate
like I was saying, there's.
Look at him. Look at him.
I'm
He's trying to apologize.
sorry, Mom. I didn't mean to hurt you. Yes. I'm actually thinking about getting some of those.
Oh, so it is granite. I was always curious what the type of rocks that
It's
they
granite. It's the same stuff they make. It's the same stuff they make. What do
you
you
see
call
this thing sucking up? He injured me, so now he's sucking up to me.
Yeah. Yes, this is Apollo, and he's a big dope. And he tripped Mama and tried to kill her earlier. And now he's trying to apologize to Dad because Dad's been mean to him all day.
Why, you've been kicking him out of here?
Yeah. Because somebody decided to get into the garbage can.
Oh, so you've been a naughty puppy.
Yes, he's been naughty today.
He's trying to get past me to get to you.
But so anyhow, let me finish my thought here.
Okay.
There are 3 people other than Nick that have really been a boon for my channel. And I mean this in a couple of ways. It's, you don't understand, he likes hugs. I can be like, come here, give me a hug, and he'll get up.
You said the H word.
Yeah. Come on.
Okay, hold on. Let me get out of the way so he can get to you.
Yes, come here.
See, look at this. Look at this. He likes his hugs.
Yes, no licks.
Well, he is doing this. I just have to say that one to the Phoenix who has her kitty pirate captain that she wants us to see. She wants us to get for her because she's going to give us money for it. Anyway,
I got a pug for you, by the way. Yes, I have a pug for you, a pug adventurer.
But
my lovely Phoenix.
The other day we were looking at one of his favorite designers over on Thingiverse.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know who it was. He had a figure that I made him download. Its name was Gato Sicarius. It's a cat with his helmet on with a fan and he's wearing a cape. I'm like, I must have it.
So anyhow.
So there's a Gato Sicarius out there somewhere.
There's 2 of them. There's one where he's stretching like a cat stretches. You know, the whole.
I think you sent. Oh, and I also have Brother Antonius.
Yes.
And all of the strippers.
Yes, I have all that. So here's.
Oh my God!
So again, we have their Blood Bowl team. I keep trying to get back to this. It's hilarious. We are just derailed today, which is okay because it's kind of a casual day today. I have 3 people that
you
are
have
really
3 people. We just talked about IDIC Bear.
Right. Well, I have 3 people other than him. So I have Frost and Fist, you know, Freak and Mythos. Oh my goodness. My brother. I love him. Not this weekend because I'm gone. But next weekend, we'll give you a call.
I'll reach out to you on Facebook and work out the details.
Yeah, not this coming weekend, but next weekend we're coming out. So
I'll do it this weekend.
Gotta go see my brother.
I see some family. I can't see mine. Mine's in California.
Yeah, we don't want to see them anyhow.
Oi. Yeah, I heard that Freak was feeling pretty under the weather.
Yeah, I think it was his back. He had messed up his back a while back, and so and we know about backs in this house.
Oh yeah.
So, Frost and both Freak and Mythos have been. I mean, they literally they had met me. They had met me maybe a week or 2 earlier.
Yeah, and they were
like really like talking. I'm like, hey, you want to come on the channel? And I'd love to see that. I'm actually going to bring my bad air brush and see if you can figure out what's wrong with it.
And Zane, you're perfectly fine. I don't want to go where you're at. I'm going to stick to Sacramento, darling. Thank you.
I'd only been in
That was
IDICB for a couple of weeks, and they had me on the show, and they helped me, and they drove my follower count up. I mean, like
And a lot of you we met through them.
a lot of you guys we met through them, and you know they're family now. I mean, to us, they're family. We're family. It's all good. And like Freak, actually, Mythos had a box of a ton of Death Guard bits that he just had no use for because he doesn't play Death Guard at all. So he's like, "Oh, you want them here?" And he threw them all in a freaking box, and he sent me this huge box of Spellcrow. They're a Spellcrow bit. It's a bunch of Spellcrow bits. Plus, he sent me that beautiful Wolf Lord.
Oh my!
That
gosh,
is now a permanent part of my army, and it was amazing. And I, the two of those guys, I love them for it, which is why we're doing something nice for them. If he's in the channel, I'm sorry I broke the surprise, but
one of these days, Mythos, you and I are going to sit down. You're going to tell me all your secrets of how you do your water features because those are beautiful.
But we're sending them a couple of miniatures. Now, the other person that has been an amazing help to us, and I want to first start off and just say this because I know he's here, is I have never met a man so humble at his level of talent. I mean, he is TMP is just a great guy. There's really no other way to say it. I won a base from him in a little giveaway he did, and we talked about it and talked about it and talked about it, and it was really great. And then it ended up not working out for me, so he sent me another base for my army, and he sent another base for my wife, so she had a pair of matching bases for her two Mortark, which is
only one of them is a Mortark.
Okay, you're right. One's a Mortark and one's her husband. So
nope, not husband, fiance.
Whatever.
They will never get married because
I know.
Nagash is that big of a jerk.
Right, but I mean that's the whole thing. I mean, just out of what a good guy he is, he did this, and I've seen him and the way he talks to people, and the way he treats people, and he's the guy that came up with the pay it forward box that I am so happily going to be sending over to Captain Morgan Gaming to get them the next in the chain. We got a couple more things I still got to finish up to get in that box, but then we're getting something out to them, which we're just super excited about.
Yes.
And that comes to that whole idea of paying it forward and giving a community, that comes from the mentality of who Rob is. And he's a great guy. He's just a really great guy. So what I wanted to do, honestly, we wanted to
give him something to show our appreciation.
Right. And since we're many people and he's many people, the whole idea was, since I'm really crazy about the printing stuff now, is to find something that really strikes us and him as something he enjoys.
I wanted to send him cheesecake.
Well, that's the whole thing. He didn't say no cheesecake because he did say Frank Frazetta is really great. But the thing is that he was looking at the Death Dealer. So I got to look at the Death Dealer, which is a great figure. I think I found actually a bust. Somebody did a rendering of the actual Death Dealer that I would probably have to drop about $10-15 to get.
I get paid on Friday.
Yeah, we might be able to do that.
I get paid on Friday anyway, and I was going to ask you about actually getting another of the Artisans Guild's packages.
Which one?
I'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Because the person that may be on the receiving end is in chat.
Yeah. So that's the whole thing. So, with TMP being a guy that's into Frazetta, a little bit of cheesecake's not a bad thing. But
I don't know why. It's to me, fantasy women are supposed to be sexy because to me it's empowering.
Okay, I'm old. What is cheesecake?
Pen up, honey. Pen up.
Cheesecake. Look.
Anything by Raging Heroes.
Look,
Speaking of, I have Raging Heroes coming. Ha, Hellchild, you're not the only one now.
Everything's covered. Nothing's showing.
But oh, is it sexy?
I mean, sometimes cheesecake may involve
a little bit of
pink, but
We found one that I almost liked until I got a better view of it, and then I was like, okay, That went from being cheesecake to lewd, and now I'm good. I don't do lewd. I like sexy. I like sensual. I like erotic because it's not sexual and it's not pornographic. When I was a much younger woman and much skinnier, I did this. Very much. I did that kind of modeling actually at one point.
Burlesque is a perfect example of cheesecake. Nothing shows, but
it's sexy, and it leaves a lot to the imagination. Or not enough to the imagination. Oh my gosh, I've got to stop drinking this thing, and I'm only halfway done, and the room is already doing this. I'm going to sleep good tonight.
So one of the things I wanted to show off, because it is now done, I never mounted it.
Exactly, Rob. That is exactly how I feel about it. Regardless of shape, the woman's figure is beautiful. It is art. Everything is art, and that's just kind of the way that I see it.
So here's the thing. I'm going to talk directly to Rob for just a second. I'm not going anywhere.
I'm not going anywhere.
But I want to talk to Rob just for a second, because he was saying, clip something off if you can't get the figure to fit. And I was like, oh, screw that. Actually, I got Weather Pig because I said F that without censoring myself. Just as he pulled me up on his live stream. It was hilarious. But I ended up clipping off a lever so I could get an arm in place. But I turned the lever into a big, shiny
red
button so that my knob with wog banner has...
Don't start. I'm too drunk right now, you guys.
a perfect figure for an absolutely perfect custom base.
I thought he was showing that to me, and I was like, dude.
Yes, a red candy-like button. So, yeah.
What happens if you see a big red button that must never, ever be pushed under any circumstances?
So TMP built this base and gave it to me. It has my name on it. It has custom artwork, his little printouts. He went the next level on it. So I was not going to just put a regular figure on it. I was going to build a custom figure that I kit bashed that would fit on this thing. So I took a knob and some extra pieces and a little goblin and everything else. And I wanted my wog banner. So my wog banner isn't just a banner. He is literally hoisting up his pet Gretchen and waving him at people to make him scream and wave to get the guys all riled up and fighting. So
because apparently he couldn't bother to get a bullhorn.
So Rob, again, for things like that, this is why we want to print and paint something that we're going to do together for you. No, you should not try and paint. You're going to end up with a blue orc.
That would be cool.
You should not be painting.
I want to do a monochromatic. That would be so much fun. Okay, stop it. Oh,
that's not cheesecake. That's carrot cake.
No, that's carrot cheesecake.
Ah, shame you want cheesecake so bad. I can only offer you chocolate chip cookies.
Sugar. So when we going to see Doctor Who minis coming off of that? You know, that's exactly what I asked, because I want a 9 and a rose. And a jack.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking at doing some Doctor Who pieces.
Well, that's because we need
specifically pieces.
Well, we need specific pieces for the pilots when they're outside of their mechs. You know, our Theta.
I was actually talking pieces so I can kit bashing.
You are not cutting up my 9.
No. I just want y'all to picture
Thorn?
Adeptus Mechanicus Daleks.
Okay, so you might find this funny because if I can get him to print me a Dalek at 200%, you'll get to see my custom Dalek from a story that I wrote. His name is Thorn because thorns protect roses.
Orc Dalek. Yeah, that has also been something I've been playing around with the idea of because Thorn is blue. I was looking at doing a Stampa, a custom Stampa, but it's a Dalek.
I would like to point out
it's a Dalorc.
I would like to point out that in my excuse me, I've had a lot of whiskey, and apparently I am not as tolerant to it as I thought I was.
It's been a long day.
It has been a very long day. So anyway, I have a custom 32 group of Imperial guards that I based on the women, the female companions, and their librarian is Rose.
I left a full army guys in my will. You know,
I think the whiskey is getting to me.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I appreciate that thought. I love that thought, but you ain't dying
anytime soon, man.
Because
you die, I'm out to get the Dragon Balls. Your ass is coming back. Do that, or I'll go borrow the the TARDIS.
Everybody starts making requests. You know, that's the thing, and that is the truth about it. I mean, honestly, that Leonidas figure.
I want to paint that.
That's not for me.
Wait, I haven't made any requests. That's because you're not into what we're into.
Al?
Yet.
Yes, he is. I have something that I'm working on printing for you as soon as I'm done with the piece I'm working on.
You still owe me an Ichi.
We have so many things that we have in the list.
You printed her for me once, and she was itty bitty and tiny, and
so,
you promised me you would print her another one.
You haven't. Yes. My printer and everybody gets other stuff. It's not like I'm not complaining because it's not like I don't get a lot of stuff for it. So it's not. I'm not worried about that.
90% of what comes off that bed is for him. And Zane, I've already figured out what I'm sending you.
It's just a foot.
No, it's better. The heresy will be real.
My
care package. Holy crap, man.
Yeah, channel photos are done. That's awesome. Here's the thing, Al. I'm working on printing a piece for you that and that's the whole thing, because we are geeks, you know, and we don't focus on the gaming too much because she barely plays. Honestly,
I have an army. I need to actually play a game, but the problem is the table is currently, and I say currently, being used for the 3D printer. However, once we get the new table built, which we have all the materials for, and there will be potentially a video if we're going to try as we put it together.
Yeah, no, that's actually, we're going to do a video for that.
But that's going to open up a lot of things, and and once it's done, I'm planning on christening it by an ass whooping from his whatever army he picks.
I'm trying to get my Imperial guards so I can shoot them with tanks.
There will be a video. Just hopefully the video will not include me attempting to use any power tools.
Well, here's the fun thing about you say that, Rob. I just interviewed for a job yesterday that potentially could send me out to the East Coast once or twice a month. So, well, you know, it's the thing. If I get this job and I start going all over the eastern half of the United States, I'm going to try and make it a point that when I find where my people are, if I can get a trip near them to stop and see them, you know, do a quick, here we are, you know, even if it's something on Instagram.
Even if we win the...
Well, we had a joke. If we won the lottery, we were talking about this. We had this ongoing gag. It was hilarious.
We're going to do Dragons Across America.
Dragons Across America.
Where we stop at...
we were just going to do, you know, live streams every couple of hours where we show up, like we drive for like into some backwater small nowhere.
Find gaming shops.
And find a gaming shop and see what the hell do they have on the shelves here.
We made a joke at one point. It would be me going, "Hi, I have no idea what state we're in. I fell asleep and I woke up.
Missouri.
And I'm getting back in the car."
But again, that's a lottery dream. That's a lottery dream. Just be able to go around and go to these ancient little tiny hole in the wall shops, like the one we found here in town, and we're able to get that original Age of Sigmar box set out of.
That wasn't a little hole in the wall.
It's actually
it's like kind of, hi, welcome to Happy Hobby. It's right across the street from everything that's important, and it's right next to the gas station.
Yeah.
But yes, it would be a lot of fun. I really need to actually make the base for my succubus. I finished painting her. I hate her, but I'm leaving her as she is.
Why
because I don't know. There's just some of the techniques that I used because I was still first learning.
I got a bath.
I just, no.
I got a bath.
Nope. I'm leaving her right where she's at. That way I can see the improvement.
Okay.
I refuse to do that. That way.
With a motorhome painted as a huge dragon. Actually, if I had my way about it, we're going to get one of those silvers. If I actually hit the lotto,
I am not getting a metal Twinkie.
Gonna get a silver side. So we have a nice place to sleep no matter where we go. I love those silver sides. They're cute.
I'm just going back to my whiskey.
And what we'll do is one of the first things we do, we got to the East Coast, and we have Rob airbrush a dragon on the side of the thing.
Yeah, because you can do that in a day.
Yeah, whatever. We're going to be here for a week. You're doing this now. What? You're doing this now.
Okay, then we're back on the lottery dreams. And there was apparently something also about us challenging people to games.
Yeah, of course. See this game.
Are you sure that's not the whiskey talking about? Because I know that right now there's a lot of whiskey talking for me, and I need to shut up.
Oh.
How do those tiny stores with Dark Eldar, Titans, and all sorts of crazy shapes? Oh, show up. Okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's
kind of. I have really weak nails, and I half ripped off one of my nails trying to open a pot of paint because I'm special.
She is super special.
And do you know how hard it is to type with these things on your finger? I decided to start a brand new fanfic. The one I was telling you about with the city under siege.
Yeah, and her fanfic has been taken away from painting too. We are a pair of Renaissance people. It's lots of stuff. It has been incredibly hard.
He laughs at me whenever I pick up a new
I have to take off the glasses first if I'm not painting. Oh my goodness. Oh my god.
Oh. Even when you're painting, it still hurts your eyes.
No, but that's because I don't take them off. Oh, they're not actual. I don't need regular glasses.
Yes, there are women in the store with feet.
I don't need regular glasses, but when I'm painting, as I've gotten older, I need magnifiers to see some of the smaller detail. And unfortunately, I have a lazy eye.
Who wants to see Lady D try and
You're not painting. You're not painting.
I want to try just a little bit.
Don't paint on something good then.
Where'd the orc go? There she is.
You're gonna jack this up.
I am not gonna jack it up.
So yeah, I have a lazy eye. So when it gets tired, it kind of wanders all over the place, and I get double vision, and so it's hard to paint. So the easiest thing is to put on a pair of weak magnifiers, and immediately forces my eyes to focus. But the problem is that the muscles in the eye get really tired, and so it makes me all wonky for a bit. So I had to take them off, and yeah, now you see the eye kind of look over here. Never pay attention to this eye. Like I tell my friends when they're like, who are you talking to? Don't look at this eye. Look at this eye. This is the eye I see out of. This is the one that's looking wherever he wants to go.
Really? I did? I was giving Zane fodder.
Whatever.
I am really fucking lit.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Oh, well, that's a good thing then. We're coming up really close. I started early tonight, but we're 15 minutes from end of show.
Oh, please. You never end on time.
Yeah, not really anymore. Now I don't have to get up in the morning. It's really hot in here, though. Or is it the whiskey? I don't know.
I'm hot.
The whiskey's gone. I need more.
Here, you want to finish mine? You should take a sip.
That's basically, honestly, Kaiser, that's basically it.
Take a sip first.
No, you're fine. Good than mine was. They never know what units I'm looking to target at. But yeah, there's actually, hopefully, next Winter Minis painting challenge has really kind of consumed me.
Yep.
I'm painting these 40. I will have.
Why? Because my husband is insane.
Because they will be all done tonight and put on their bases. I'm still trying to decide whether or not I'm going to put Midland Tufts on all their bases. I'm going to put one on one base and see if I like it or not. And if I don't, I'm going to rip it off. And if I do like it, I'm going to end up putting Tufts on all the bases. But I don't know. I really like how this Badlands turned out. I mean, it's just kind of never heard of a painting challenge.
What?
Warmut, how did you not hear this? This is all we've been talking about for days.
Midwinter Minis started it.
Midwinter Minis.
Something about a pile of shame.
Last week Friday, he did his pile of shame. Did his pile of shame challenge. Basically, it's a Midwinter Minis 1 week challenge.
And Penny was like,
At the beginning of the week, or basically Saturday morning, you were supposed to take a picture of your pile of shame. And if you go onto my Instagram, you will see my pile of shame. And the idea was that at the end of the week, everything you've painted and what's, how big of a dent you've put into it. Now the challenge has prizes. That's half of why I'm going hard on it. Because I'll be honest, one of the prizes, the grand prize that he's giving away, I want so bad, so bad, because he has the whoever wins, he is sending an unopened box of Speed Freaks too, which is exactly what I want for my Orc army. Another set of Speed Freaks.
Wasn't it because he didn't finish it and Penny told him he needed to get rid of it?
Yes, basically.
I have more shame coming to Mini Warmut.
And but here's the thing. That's the grand prize. He's got a couple other prizes. One of them includes his CD, which is fabulous.
Oh, I'll take that one.
I throw that thing on. I throw on his music on YouTube all the time. He's a great musician. He's an incredible musician.
He had to stop though when I started getting sleepy because it was like putting me to sleep.
It's very dark. It's basically meant to be thematic music. It's basically music to war game by. So it's just kind of thematic in the background. It's really, really cool.
Like, child, will you please attend to the whiny one? Thank you, darling.
I don't like your mug though.
Why not?
Which is why I stopped using it for coffee.
Why?
It's too big.
It's perfect for coffee.
I don't like it. My hand is tired from painting all day.
That sounds like a personal problem. There was still some whiskey left in here.
Whatever. So the idea is that, like, since that day, like the night that opened up, I did 5 knobs that night. The next day I did 5 my Stormcast archers and 3 Killicans. And then the next day I did a Death Dread, that knob, and a couple pieces of terrain. And my eyes started bugging me something fierce Sunday afternoon, so I had to stop. And then yesterday, I basically spent yesterday trying to finish up some of my Orc terrain, which is about 70% done. I gotta get the other colors. Yes, I've seen it.
Salamanders.
Your opening sequence shows off your pile of shame.
Salamanders. Or the stripper stodians.
Okay, so the new army for New Year. I'm telling you, not, because here's the thing. Look at what you have. And I guess there's two ways to look at it.
I'm afraid to stand up right now.
There's two ways to do it. You either look at what you have and see, is that stuff I'm using for an existing army? Yeah, I know, dude. I know. You make me jealous. I'm like, we're gonna go to your house, knock you out. I'm just gonna take your empty box. I'm just gonna take your boxes. Whatever.
You're gonna wake up and like have your
you're gonna wake up. All your painted stuff's there because you've already painted it, so it's safe for the big D. If it ain't primed, fair game.
You do remember this, right?
That's just a joke. I would never do that to you. That's reserved for her.
Sorry, moving my head a little too much.
Honestly, I mean, I know you have wolves. I know you have your undead army with your vampire courts army, and
he with the most minis wins. Instead of it being she with the most fabric wins, it's he with the most minis wins.
Yeah, that's the thing. People that sew and people that paint minis are pretty much in the same box. Now, here's the thing. I know you also have some yeah, see, that doesn't happen in my house. That cellophane is off in the car. What's in the box? But no, in all seriousness, I know you've got some mechanicum.
Are you seriously?
Well, no, he's talking about what would I suggest for his new army. If you want to do 40K, and I mean, looking at you as a painter, I mean, the salamanders are great for painting, but you've already got a loyalist army.
He asked her what about a loyalist army? Thinking of starting a new loyalist army, what do you recommend? That's why I said salamanders.
I would not do Blood Angels. I hate to say it, I would not do Blood Angels. I would. I mean, looking at your way of painting, salamanders, honestly,
paint red, not blue. Exactly, Meeks. Salamanders paint green.
Yeah, salamanders are an incredible looking army, honestly. Imperial fists. Imperial fists, yellow. I mean, yellow is.
Magnificent Seven.
Yeah, I have to show them to you. They're crazy looking. They're so good. Here's the thing. I mean, if you're not going to do AdMech, which I mean, that would be actually my first choice. I mean, if I actually do another army, I mean, I'm looking into a custom marine army. But I really kind of want to do AdMech, but I'm working on my Imperial Guard right now. Yeah, that tells you. Dark Angels have some of the best sculpts. I'm going to be honest with you. They really do. Outside of the wolves, the Dark Angels really have. I don't like Blood Angels. I will tell you right now. Anybody ask me, I will always tell people, nah, anything but Blood Angels. I just don't like. I don't like the fluff around them, and
he doesn't like
fluff is a big deal to me, and I don't like the fluff around the Blood Angels.
He doesn't like the space vampires.
The Templars. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. To be Rob straight up, your skill at painting, the Templars are not worthy of a painter of your skill because they're white and black. They're just
Black Templars. Lion for life, dog.
They're not Black Templars.
No. Remember the whole who are you and what do you do?
No. Death Watch.
Whatever.
Death Watch and Black Templars are the guys that they were on the Planet of Furries video. The guys with the Iron Cross on their shoulders.
Okay.
Brother! Grenade. You know, the giant furries.
Dude, I am. Yes, I totally know what you're talking about.
Honestly, yeah. I would tell you to do salamanders. I think for your skill level and your skill set, I think salamanders.
Pretty sure Heinrich would probably murder someone to get him into.
But he wants loyalists.
Yeah.
Salamanders are just the beautiful thing is that there's flame effects on everything they do. There's flame effects on everything they do. They've got dragon motifs on everything. They've got scales and leathers, and
They're very cool looking. I mean, I've seen a couple of different.
They really are. I would honestly tell you, for your skills, you should look at salamanders. They are a gorgeous army, and they're beautiful to paint.
My loyalist army I'm going after.
The other army I would suggest, only because I think you could do some really crazy stuff with some of the non-metallic metallic effects, is to go with the what do you call it? The Grey Knights, which are all very bright and silver and shiny, and they've got some really great. You could do some blues and silvers on them and do some beautiful non-metallic metallic effects on them. For me, honestly, they're both really good armies. Okay.
No, Zane. Let Commodore do that.
Is there a really cool looking blue and white Harlequin type chapter?
Yes, there is one.
Oh, there is. He's saying there is one. Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, if loyalists, honestly, loyalists, I would say do salamanders. They're just such a beautiful. They're a beautiful army. If I wasn't doing a custom army of my own Space Marines, and she wasn't so into the salamanders, I'd be doing salamanders. But she really likes the salamanders, and we kind of have a rule in the house.
We try not to, anyway.
We try not to do the armies each other's doing. So if somebody wants to play something, build and paint and play that set. And if I want to try them out, I'll use your figures because hers is mine and mine is hers. I mean, they're our figures.
We do agree with that. You know, it's like if he decides he wants to play, he's more than welcome to use mine.
And if she ever wants
it's not a good idea, Zane.
Yeah, I mean, so... but yeah, salamanders are they're just gorgeous figures. They're just such beautiful effects and beautiful stuff on them. They're really great.
Of course, my salamanders are going to be female.
Now, here's the thing. If you're not locked into loyalist, let me tell you, Rob, there are some really beautiful Chaos Marine sculpts out there that I'd love to see your take on. I'd love to see you take on the Emperor's Children and do their purple and golds, their purples and some pinks and golds, and have you go after some of their figures. I'd love to see you.
Considering it's likely their Primarch that's going to be shown.
Yeah, considering it's probably their Primarch that's going to show up on Saturday, yeah. I mean, it's one of the reasons I'm kind of holding off on making my decision on my Chaos Marine army that I've started, because I may end up going, if they honestly do announce that it's Fulgrim, I'm going to go full Emperor's Children, because
we're going to end up having to buy 2 Fulgrims because I just want to paint
it. She just wants to paint it. So,
of course, as I've said before, I just want to paint all of the Primarchs.
Yeah. The other thing I would suggest, honestly, Rob, again, looking at for beauty of painting, the Thousand Suns. Oh, such beautiful minis.
That's my Chaos.
Yeah, they're gorgeous. They're absolutely gorgeous. Gorgeous sculpts. Do you think that anything's going to drop this Saturday? I don't think it's going to drop this Saturday. I think it's going to be announced, or at least the beginnings of it are. Going back to something I was saying earlier in the thing, Chapter Master Valorak last winter had somebody that he knows, and he has a source, that got him a shipping manifest that had the next 6 months of releases from GW, because they have to ship them ahead of time. And he literally had... You have a Death Guard army. Well, then you have the best looking Chaos army there is. So, but he literally had a shipping manifest that he got, and it had the names and releases of a lot of stuff for the next 6 months. And that specific video. I would tell you to go back and find it, but I don't remember. It was like sometime in December or early January. And he literally has called it. He has called every single thing. Prophecy of the Wolf, he called it. He actually said what was going to be in that box in January. He's like, it's going to be a new golem. I mean, it's going to be a new Thraka. It's going to be knobs and mega knobs. It's going to be an infiltrator, and it's going to be Ragnar. That's going to be in the box. He called it in January. It was crazy how accurate that list was. And when he was looking through this list, one of the things, and it was a huge, I mean, he was going through this thing. He has literally called out every single psychic awakening ahead of time. He's called them in order. He said who's in them, who was getting figures. He is this manifest that he got his hands on. I mean, it was the spoiler of spoilers. It was crazy accurate. It's been perfect. And he said at that point, it was right there in front of him that the Necrons are getting the 9th edition starter box, or whatever they're going to call it, in July. And it's going to be, hey, Kaiser, thank you for chopping by. Appreciate it. And he like the starter box is coming out. It's going to be Marines and Necrons. There's no question of that at this point.
It's gonna be great.
Now, here's the thing: is 9th edition going to be that much of a change from 8th edition? I don't think so. I think all 9th edition is going to be, because they specifically said at one point that from this point forward they want it to be a living edition. So I think the 9th edition rulebook is going to be more of a, hey, this is 5 years of FAQs and chapter approved, all rolled up and everything eroded up into a new book. All the former books are still accurate and usable with the FAQs we've done to it. We're just getting a new edition of the book with all the new stuff updated so it's accurate. And I'm thinking the starter box is going to be, as far as the Marine side of it, is going to be very similar to the 8th edition box. I mean, I think there'll be some new sculpts, but I think the makeup is going to be very similar. Although they might put, because they've traditionally had an elite figure in there. So I think maybe we're going to see, maybe some of the elites, but it'll be some things swapped out. But it's basically going to be pretty much the same makeup for the Marines, and it'll be a Necrons equivalent of a 500-point army. Probably very similar to what you see in the Necron starter box, or with a couple extra little things. They'll all be monopose.
Okay, that's it. Shannon's done.
You're not getting anywhere with that, are you?
Oh no, I'm getting quite well.
I can't see.
Yeah, no, I'm busy.
Yeah.
Cute. Nope.
So
I leave the plague child in my spot, ladies and gentlemen. I love you all very much, and this drunk dragon is gonna toddle off to bed because the room is
do you work tomorrow?
At
3
or 4, I don't know. I can't remember.
You got a half shift tomorrow?
Yeah.
Lame.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm working from a wetlands. Something in there. I'm just gonna go get it. Hold on for that. Oh shit.
You need me to walk you through it?
So yeah, I think 9th edition or 8.5 or whatever you're gonna call it. Yeah. Everyone says goodnight, my love, especially Rob. So yeah, I think what they're announcing, I think if you look at it the same terms as when 7th dropped to 8, just before 7th came out, you had the Storm Awakening, whatever it was, where you had the Rise of the Inari and Guilliman returns. I think the Psychic Awakening is the same thing. I think the culmination of the Psychic Awakening, since the Necrons are in the last book, you're going to see the Silent King returns. I would be hyped to actually see a Silent King figure, like literally a Silent King Lord of War equivalent to a Primarch type dude, to put on the battlefield. I think that would be amazing. But if you look at the Psychic Awakening, every single book, whenever they've talked about chaos, has left hints about Fulgrim. They haven't ever said his name, but they keep describing a multi-armed, snake-tailed, giant being. And they've done it multiple times, like once in every single book it's been mentioned. And it's been one of those things that people have been asking for Fulgrim for years. People have been asking for Primarchs for years. And they didn't finally, until 7th, start doing this. I think you're going to start seeing a Primarch or like figure about once a year from now on. Last year, we got the remake of Abaddon. The year before that, we got, I think it was the year before that, we got Magnus. The year before that, we got both Reboot and what do you call it? Mortarion. I think this year we're going to see Fulgrim and potentially the Silent King. And I think that's going to be a regular thing. I think that's how they're going to do this. Every year, year and a half, they're going to release something big, somebody big, and make a. And I think they've realized that they can't just keep the lore static and in place and nothing changing. They've got to do something to advance the story. Even if advancing the story doesn't actually make any changes, if they want to keep people's attention in the game, they've got to make some changes. I mean, that's where the Primaris are coming from.
Silent King.
Silent King would be nice.
Hi, Zane.
We're looking at creepy Fabulous Bile. Fabius Bile coming out. Are we going to finally see Primaris Chaos Marines? I don't know. There's so much that can come out. And the problem is we've got, because of COVID, we're a couple books behind. So, I mean, we got Machine War. We have the Agents of whatever. I forget that. I mean, there's just so much that is just hung up because of COVID. And it's kind of put everybody on edge for what's coming next. So, I love this game so much. I love the lore of it. And that's what we talked about. Kaiser was talking about earlier, and he mentioned the fact that what he likes about the channel is that we're not just 40K. We're not. I mean, there's a lot of geekery involved. But one of the things I love about 40K is the geekery about it. There's the lore. There's the story. We've got comics coming out. We've got a TV show coming out. We've got a cartoon coming out. There's all this. They've got books and books and books and books and books and books and books. And you know, I mean, there's so much good stuff for this game. So I think as we bring the stream to a close, because it is after 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
I think that's something that as a takeaway for the week and the upcoming Saturday. Maybe we're going to get Silent King. Maybe we're going to get Fulgrim. Maybe we're going to get a new edition. And maybe they're hyping this up like they always do, and it's going to be, oh, look, it's a new figure.
That would irritate.
But that figure is going to make somebody happy. And I kind of learned this lesson the hard way myself when Prophecy of the Wolf came out. I was so hyped and so mentally set up for how great and how awesome and how amazing and all these expectations I set for myself for this box. And then it came out and I was like, man, this sucks. And I'm mad. And I was mad. I was mad. Because they had taken that from me.
I was playing Emperor's Children when like they were like kind of hinting at a new Primarch.
Now here's the thing.
And also there was like the thing I was kind of like, Fulgrim.
But here's the thing. I just saw 6 Plus Steve-O's. He did an unboxing of Prophecy of the Wolf, and he was like, "Ah, it's amazing," and it is. if that was what you're looking for in a box, it's a great box. It's actually a really amazing box. And he pointed out the really great parts about that box. And if I was playing Goths, I would actually be really excited for that box. I would actually really been like, okay, yeah, I can. And it's funny because after looking at the box and looking at the box and looking at the box, I actually could use the entire box. I would happily put the entire box to use. But because it didn't have some expectation, if it didn't have some expectation, it wasn't going to make me happy. And I think that's something we have to look at, whatever this big release is on Saturday. So this is my going away thought. GW is going to be releasing a lot of stuff forever. And every couple of weeks, there's going to be some really new big hyped event and some new big hyped release and something new and something big and something hype and something new and something big and something hype. And they do this, and it's all they do. That is literally their job, is to hype people up to buy their stuff. You may not like what's coming out. You may not like that box. You may not like what, that's not for me, but it is for somebody. And I think that goes back to the whole idea of taking a more positive view about things. Take a more positive view on things. And I think on a whole, you'll find yourself less grumpy about crap. I mean, maybe, just leave it be. We've got a mod for that. You know, that's the thing. Yeah. And that's the thing that and that's good to see. That's the thing. You know, everybody needs to be happy about what they get. I mean, perfect example. Rob was just talking about that the Space Wolves battle box. He had the old battle box, so it was kind of disappointing. I didn't get the old battle box, so this one for me was cool. I liked it. I like intercessors. I'm a big fan of intercessors, but I don't need any more intercessors for my armies. But I would have literally taken that box so I could give the intercessors to my wife, so she can start working on her space, on her what do you call it? Her Salamander's army. That's okay. I'd still get the ship. Gosh, I want that Stormwolf so bad, and I want really badly, like super badly. I want an Iron Priest, and I want Wolfen. So I mean, that box for me was perfect compared to what was in the prophecy box. I don't really need the infiltrators. I would have ended up giving them to my wife because she can use them for her army. But, and the thing is, now I look at them more, I'm actually seeing more uses for them. They're not very wolfy. To be honest, they're not very wolfy, but they're still a good unit. They're a solid unit. They're just not very wolfy, but it's still a good box. It's a great value. There's some great figures in there. Ragnar's an amazing figure. Freaking Gazkul, I'm not going to use him because his big thing is that when he's with Goths, he does really good stuff. And I don't play Goths. But I'd love to get him and just paint him up. At some point, I will. I could use another set of knobs. I was expecting to get myself another starter box or start collecting box, but then I got this bad boy. So I really don't need another Def Dread. So, you know, actually, that wouldn't be a bad box to get my hands on. So, you know, again, maybe every release isn't for you, but it is for somebody. So take some joy that they're doing stuff. They're trying to do something. And that's important for this hobby, to keep people interested, to keep people happy. So that being said, one last shout out to all my Patreon members. Inquisitor Zane, Heinrich Botha, Joe Bookish, Mini Warmutt, my brother Alex Drake, James Meeks, and the Commodore. You guys, you helped me out a great. All the rest of you, if you haven't hit that like button, hit that like button. Help me out. Leave your comments below when this thing's in the background. This thing is what helps YouTube direct people to come to my channel because I'm doing something that entertains people. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to talk about stuff. And that's what Taco Tuesday is about. It's just about talking about general geekery, talking about Warhammer 40K, talking about philosophy of gaming and community.
Talking about nerdiness.
Being nerds and the lifestyle of being a nerd. So that being said, I want to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much for spending the day with me. Again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. If you have not rung that bell, ring that bell. We try to do some crazy random live streams a couple times a week sometimes. I try to get,
when it comes out.
Yeah, I try to do a tutorial video a week. I haven't done one in a couple weeks because I've been kind of busy. So we're going to end up with 2 or 3 in the next week or 2.
We do our every Tuesday live stream.
Every Tuesday, we do Taco Tuesday. So again, thank you so much. And again, I'm Big D. This is the Plague Child. Lady D, she's already gone to bed because the dog tripped her and whiskey knocked her down. I love all of you so much. You guys mean the world to me. Seriously, you guys are like family to me. Some of you actually are family. So, you know, there's that. But be well, all of you. And remember, epic your board, epic your game, and epic your life. Game on, my friends.